You know, when Thomas Edison invented the phonograph, a lot of people thought it was a hoax. And that's because they literally could not comprehend how something intangible like a sound could be recorded and played back. It just didn't make logical sense. And he would go and do demonstrations before a group. People still thought it was a magic trick. They thought there was a ventriloquist around, or there was some little tunnel or pipe or tube that was being used to carry the sound. But people just couldn't grasp the concept that something like that could be recorded. Well, we can't yet fully grasp the idea that consciousness can be recorded. And here we are taking measurements off of a martial artist in Chicago named Grandmaster Tom Cameron, often called the human stun gun because he does these really weird, controversial demonstrations where he appears to knock people over without touching them, just by projecting bioenergy. This is a friend of mine named Joe Southards. He agreed to participate in some experiments where we let Grandmaster Cameron try to knock him out while we took Kirlian photographs of his fingertips. Now, if you don't know what a Kirlian is, let me explain. This is a Kirlian photograph of a fingertip. Basically what you do is you have a subject like Joe put his or her fingertip directly on a photographic plate, and then for a split second you pass electrical current through that person's body. And what you get is a print that is formed from the discharge, the coronal discharge, coming from that person's finger. What you're really seeing here is the direct pathway that the electric field has taken when it passes through the body. We had Joe put his finger down. This is the actual control photograph, and I've taken thousands of Kirlian photographs. This is the actual control photograph, and it looks normal. It should just be a single oval of light, just like we have here, a ring of light. We arranged for Tom Cameron to do one of his energy knockouts, and at the moment he attempted to knock out Joe, I was going to take a second exposure to compare the two. Now, Joe, he has a science degree in aeronautics. He's not easily impressed by any of these, strange demonstrations, and he was not at all willing to just, play along. He wanted to see if this guy could knock him down practically without touching him. So we were going to have Tom do a completely touchless knockout where he just projected his energy at Joe. The problem is, I wasn't sure in that case exactly when to expose the film, because I've only got a split second to do this. So we made arrangements for Tom to just reach up and literally tap Joe on the jaw at the moment that the energy knockout was delivered, so I would know exactly when to hit that button. So Big Joe's standing there. Another friend of mine, Dean Warsing, got behind Joe just in case he did go down. And Grandmaster Cameron built up his energy, and then he goes over and he taps Joe on the jaw, and Joe's eyes rolled back in his head and he went down. A normal exposure looks like this, just a single ring. But at the moment when Grandmaster Cameron knocked something out of Joe, we got not one, but two rings of energy. Now, mind you, this is not a smear or a blur. You can actually see two distinct rings that are slightly overlapping. I have talked over the years to several people who have told me they've had experiences where they believe they were knocked out of their bodies. Said that the pitcher threw the ball and hit him right in the teeth. Next thing you know is he's standing next to his body. He hears everybody in the crowd screaming. He sees himself lying there with blood all over his face. And then a few seconds later, he snapped back into his body. It's a big illusion for you to think that you are the part of you that you see in the mirror alone.